So on our previous video, one thing which was spoken which went very viral, or one thing which I taught you guys which went very viral, was how to be able to generate your own signals in Forex. Or because how amazing it is when you are able to generate your own signals, when you are able to generate your own trading signals in Forex without relying on other Forex gurus or without relying on other people to give you signals that will never make you any money in Forex. You can only make that money if you are able to generate your own signal. And that is what I taught you guys, or that is what I started teaching you guys on the previous video. And something which I did promise you guys was the combination of candlestick patterns, because that is what I taught you guys on the previous video. So the combination of candlestick patterns with a structure, that structure can be support and resistance, which is the highest, most popular and the most used structure. So how can you be able to combine candlestick patterns and support and resistance to come up with accurate and sniper signals in Forex? The same signals that I use on my channel on a daily basis, the same signals that I use on live camera and make money and make millions, and you guys see it on a daily basis. So how can you be able to replicate that? How can you be able to copy the same thing and do the same thing and make the same money? That is what I did promise you guys, that once I bring the support and resistance video to you guys, I was going to be able to join everything. But before I go into that, before I go into support and resistance, there is something I want to be able to reiterate, or there is something I want to be able to emphasize on candlestick patterns, which is what we call common Japanese candlestick deadly mistakes. All right, so even though you already have an idea about Japanese candlesticks and how to use Japanese candlesticks to generate signals, but now they are deadly. I call it deadly because if you make these mistakes, you're going to pay it with your account balance. If you make these mistakes, you're going to pay it with your hard-earned money. So this is what I call deadly mistakes when it comes to Japanese candlestick patterns. So that is what we're going to be covering on today's video. Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. My name is Ndemazeah Godlove. On this channel we talk everything about trading, business, personal finance, and tips to help you stay profitable as a Forex trader. So if this is your first time coming to my channel, please hit that subscribe button below to subscribe to the channel so that you can always be updated when I come up with content like this. So what do we have on today's video? Today's video, we're just going to go straight to the point. The first thing we have, the first deadly mistake, or the first thing you should be able to do to be able to produce the highest, or to be able to perform the best with candlestick patterns. The first thing we have here, it says pick a pattern or patterns that work for you and stick with them. In Forex alone, or talking about candlestick patterns and candlestick structures and signal patterns, we have more than 100 in Forex alone. We have more than 100. So now, because you can see here, we have bearish continuum, hanging man, dark cloud, black cloud, tweezer top, tweezer button, shooting star, hanging man, engulfing candle. So there are too many. So if you're not careful, you're just gonna suffer from what we call too much information paralysis. All right. So now, when you start practicing and going through one candlestick pattern to the other, at least you should be able to start picking some few that work for you. All right. Start picking some few of these patterns that actually work for you. Pick some that, okay, like for me personally, my own personal preference. For me, engulfing candles, like full engulfing candles are the best. Hanging man are the best. Kangaroo tails are the best. Shooting stars are the best. Tweezer bottoms and tweezer tops, they are the best. Then evening stars and morning stars, they are still the best. So I have about 10 out of this. I have about 10 that are very perfect, that I use on a daily basis, and I see that, okay, these ones are very, very accurate. All right. For example, if I'm trading support and resistance, and anytime if I'm trading something like support and resistance, anytime my price comes back to support, if I'm just looking for a full engulfing candle, or I'm looking for a hanging man looks something like this, or I'm looking for a what we also call morning star, so there are few things I'm looking to be able to have my confirmation. Remember, for you to be able to have any signal in Forex, it follows this system. It follows what they call S, C, then what? S, SCS. The first S stands for structure, the C stands for confirmation, and the S stands for signal. So for you to have any solid signal in Forex, you need a structure. That structure can be support and resistance. After support and resistance, how do you confirm? You need a confirmation to buy or sell. That confirmation can be a candlestick pattern, can be an engulfing candle, kangaroo tail, shooting star, morning star, wide cross, wide shoulder. So there are many patterns. That is the confirmation. After that confirmation, good. Now you combine that confirmation and that structure. It will give you a signal in Forex. So pick two or pick many. Pick the ones that work for you and stick with them. Don't be too confused when it comes to all these candlestick patterns. Another one we have here, they say always trade Japanese candlesticks with a structure. I already explained this, and I can't emphasize enough when it comes to this. I can't emphasize enough. Always trade support and resistance with, or always trade Japanese candlestick with a structure. In Forex alone, when you open your chart within a minute or within a day, depending on the time frame you are using, the candlesticks are too many. So if you are not careful, you're just gonna suffer from misinformation or too much information paralysis. You won't know what to do. So always try to combine the explanation here. Always try to combine candlestick patterns with a structure. Here, what we have here is our support and resistance. Support, our resistance, and our support. So what I will do is, since I already know I have my support and resistance, the first thing you have to do is to first of all draw your support and resistance. And the next video that is coming after this, I'll be able to teach you guys in details how to draw your support and resistance to look as accurate as this. All right. So the first thing is to first of all know how to draw your support and resistance. When you know how to draw your support and resistance, if the market is here, if the market is somewhere here, I'll be waiting for okay. I'll be looking for if the market is somewhere here, I'll be looking for a buy signal. And what happened? Boom. You can see this candlestick. This candlestick is what I've explained time without number. It's called a hanging man. And anytime I see this hanging man at the potential support, that is a buy signal. All right. So I bought somewhere here. So the first thing was my structure, which was support and resistance. And then I need a confirmation. My confirmation that this market might be turning around this place is a hanging man. Or even if I didn't take this trade, the next candle I saw here again was what they call a full engulfing candle. This was still a full engulfing candle that completely engulfed this one. Still showed me another buy signal. So I would have bought somewhere here. When the market came back here, see what happened. This happens all the time in Forex. I can't emphasize enough when it comes to this. This happens all the time in Forex. See what happens here. This was our support, and this was our resistance. When the market came back up here, that is why I said always trade support, always trade candlesticks, couple with, always join it with a structure. Because when it comes back up here at a particular resistance, see what happened. That is a shooting star. Immediately it came at a particular resistance. That was a shooting star. And anytime I see a shooting star at a potential resistance, I sell without even thinking twice. All right. Anytime I see a shooting star at a potential resistance, I sell without even. So I would have sold somewhere here. My take profit somewhere here, stop loss here. That is a risk to reward of about 1:6. So if I'm risking $100 here, I'll be having about $600 by the end of the day. Or if I'm risking $10, I'll be having about $60. So you see the magic. This is not magic. This is not magic. This is you just calming down yourself and learning these things from the root. All right? Because that is another typical signal. This is, before I took this screenshot, this was the current market price here. This was the current market price. See what happened. The market already came back here, and now this is another thing that I've explained. When the market, if you see the market going down, and out of a sudden, you see some very bullish candle just come out from nowhere. That is called 3 white soldiers. What happened here? 1, 2, 3. 3 white soldiers. They call 3 white soldiers. All right, 3 white soldiers. And anytime if the market is going down and out of a sudden you see 3 white soldiers, the next candle that comes after that is a confirmation candle. The next candle that came after that was what? Was a bullish candle, showing you that, okay, even that after that 3 white soldiers, which shows that there was high buy pressure in the market, the next candle is still confirming that the people who are still winning are still the buyers. So this next candle, you buy somewhere here. So as soon as this market open, I'll buy somewhere here, I'll put my stop loss here, and my take profit at the next resistance. As simple as that. That is because I have been able to combine Japanese candlesticks. I've been able to combine Japanese candlesticks with a structure, and that structure in this case is support and resistance. So you first of all draw your support and resistance, then you use candlesticks to look for confirmations. All right, good. Let's go to the next point. The next point is always wait for candlestick confirmation. I can't even explain. I don't even need to emphasize. This one is self-explanatory. All right, this one is self-explanatory. If a candlestick is still forming, don't be so eager. Wait for that candlestick to fully form, then wait for a confirmation, because there are some time when it comes to candlestick patterns, you have what we call single candlestick patterns, you have basic candlestick patterns, you have dual candlestick patterns, and you have triple candlestick patterns. Some of these candlesticks need, like dual candlestick patterns and triple candlestick patterns, they need a combination of 2 or 3 candlesticks pattern to be able to give you a signal. So in that case where you see that, okay, a dual candlestick pattern is forming or a triple candlestick pattern is forming, you have to wait for the signal to fully develop. You have to wait for the candles to fully develop so that you can easily ascertain, so that you can easily predict what is going on. For example, here is what we call tweezer bottoms and tweezer tops. And just from my explanation, you see that tweezer bottoms it is a kind of what we call dual candlestick patterns, because you need a combination of 2 candlestick patterns or 2 candlesticks to be able to give you a pattern. You need a combination of 2 candlesticks to be able to give you a pattern. And anytime you see a tweezer bottom or a tweezer top, the next candle that comes after that is the confirmation candle. The tweezer top was already there. And then the next candle that came after that was still a bearish candle. What? So it would have sold somewhere here. We would have sold somewhere there, stop loss there, and take profit there. Why? Because we waited for that signal to fully develop. We waited for the candlestick to fully form for us to better know. And even waiting for the candlestick to fully form, we waited for a confirmation, and the confirmation was the next candle. Because if you are somebody who hurries a lot, this candle might instead form. If you are not waiting for the confirmation, you might instead see another candle, another bearish candle forming after that. All right. So always wait for a confirmation. All right, good. And another thing, they say Japanese candlestick time frames depend. Okay, Japanese candlesticks are time frame dependent. Let me explain what I mean. The minute, if you are doing your analysis or you want to come out with any signal in Forex, if you are using a particular time frame, stick with that time frame. Because if you are using, let's just say, something like a 4-hour time frame, which is my favorite time frame because it gives me time to do other things. It's an intraday, it's an intraday time frame. It's a day trading time frame, but it's an intraday time frame. It gives me the flexibility to do other things. So if you are using something like a 4-hour time frame and you already do your analysis on that 4-hour time frame, if you have to zoom in, that's why I see, if you have to zoom in with the micro or I don't know what, the telescope or whatsoever, if you have to zoom in or go take a step back at a lower time frame, the same patterns that you see, the same support and resistance that you see, the same candlestick patterns that you see on the high time frame, they're going to be totally different on a lower time frame. Which, if you are not careful, in Forex we have what we call major support and resistance level, and we have what we call minor support and resistance level. On a higher time frame, a minor support and resistance level, this small area you are seeing. On a lower time frame, if you go on a lower time frame, this might be a whole trend on its own. Or this one candle you are seeing here, if you go on a lower time frame, this might be a whole trend on its own. So now, if you are working with candlestick patterns, join with a structure, stick with one time frame. So if you are coming up with any signal and you choose a particular time frame, stick with that time frame, do your analysis on that time frame, generate your signals on that time frame, and place your target on the same time frame. So do your trade, what we call trade execution and trade management on the same time frame. If not, if you step down to a lower time frame, then you might be totally confused, because a small retracement on a high time frame might be a whole trend on its own. It might be a whole trend on a lower time frame. You might go to higher time frame. Let's just say if you are trading with a 4-hour time frame, you might go to the 1-hour time frame or the weekly time frame, just to have an overall idea, just to have an idea of the bigger picture, just to have an idea of where the big fish, of where the market is heading to, just to have an idea of the bigger picture. But now when it comes to you doing your analysis, placing your trade and managing the trade, stick to the same time frame, because if you keep going down to the lower time frame, a small retracement on that same time frame you are using might be a full trend on a lower time frame. So now let's just say you have now time on your hand and you have time to do the trading or scalping. You can go down to maybe 5-hour time frame or 5-minute time frame or 1-minute time frame or 15-minute time frame, and you do your trading. So you should have an idea on how to trade with different time frames. But when you want to do your price analysis, you want to generate a price analysis signal, make sure you stick to a particular time frame, generate your signal with that time frame, place the trade with that time frame, and manage your trade using the same time frame. All right, that is something which is very, very important. Don't get confused. Don't generate your signal with a 4-hour time frame, which is showing you on this 4-hour time frame you have an engulfing candle that is telling you to buy. Then you go down to a 1-hour time frame, the trend is completely telling you to sell, or the trend is completely telling you that the market is sideways. So stick to one time frame. Do your trade management and your trade execution on the same time frame. All right. Then another point which we have here, they say always understand the price action behind any candlestick pattern. This is very, 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 very important. On this point, they say always understand the price action behind any candlestick pattern. Like for example, we have on our chart, if I'm trading support and resistance, and anytime anytime the market comes back to a support and I see a particular pattern, I'll be able to know exactly what is happening. Or if the market comes back to a resistance and I see a pattern like this, I see a pattern like somehow like this. All right, I see a pattern like this. Because this is an example of a shooting star that has a body and a long wick. All right, this is an example of a shooting star, which is let me undo. So this is an example of a shooting star. So if I see this kind of candle forming at a particular resistance, let's just say this is my resistance, and I see this candle forming here, you should be able to understand the price action behind that candle. This one is very, very self-explanatory. You'll be able to know that, okay, on this candle, since it is a bearish candle, it means the market was open. It means this is the open price of the candle. We already spoke about the open, the close, the high, and the low on our previous video. It means this was the open price of the candle. This was the close price of the candle. Then this was the high of the day, the high of the candle, and the low of the candle. It didn't even have the low of the candle because there was no wick. All right. So this was the open and the close. And anytime you have the close price lower than the open price, it produces what they call a bearish candle. And if that occurs at a particular resistance with a long wick, what does that tell you? It means within this time period, the buyers came into the market. The buyers came into the market. They pushed the market right up to this particular place because that is the high. Once the market was pushed right up to that particular place, the sellers say no. So the selling pressure, the sellers came into the market, and there was a fight between the buyers and the sellers. And at the end of the day, the sellers won. So there was more supply. There was more supply than demand. Since there was more supply than demand of that particular currency, what happened? The price was pushed right down to the open price, even past the open price, right down to the close price. All right, so you can see that is why we have this long wick. We have this long wick because the price action tried to break through the resistance, but the sellers came in and pushed the market down. So anytime you see this, there's a clear indication that is a reversal. So the next candle that comes after this is a confirmation candle. If you see a bearish candle after this, it's a clear indication that you have to sell immediately. All right, so you need to be able to understand. You don't just see each candlestick has something to do. So it is advisable, you need to be able to understand the price action behind that candlestick. If the market come here, see what happens. This is the same thing I was explaining. This is a hanging man, and it occurs at a particular support. Meaning, at this particular level, the buyers came in. The buyers were trying to push the market down, but the sellers were trying to push the market down. But the buyers came in with high buying pressure, and there was more demand than supply. That is why you see this candle form like this, which is a potential buy signal. So always understand the price action behind every particular candle. And then don't try to find meaning on every candlestick. All right, don't try to find meaning on every on your chart. You can see we have different candlesticks. We have hanging man, we have bullish engulfing candle, we have marabuzu, we have this one is I think this one is tweezer. We have a tweezer bottom, we have shooting star. So on your chart you have different kind of candlesticks. You just be confused if you want to find meaning. If you want to find meaning on each and every candlestick you see. No, don't try to find meaning on each and every candlestick you find. The only thing you should try to do is you should only try to find meaning on candlesticks that occur in particular levels. All right, you only try to find meaning on candlesticks that occur on particular zones. For example, here I have my demand zone. That is why I said the first thing you need to be able to draw your support and resistance level, or your demand and supply levels. All right, once you have your support, this is still the same as the support. All right, and this is the same as the resistance. So the most important thing is for you to first of all draw your support and resistance level. When you draw your support and resistance level, that is when candlesticks would now have a meaning. All right, because if candlesticks now, if in a candlestick pattern that occur in any of those zones, will be able to have a meaning. For example, if I come here and I see this candle, this is a bullish engulfing candle, which is a buy signal. It's telling me to buy somewhere here. I'll buy. If I come up here, this is the same. This is what they call a shooting star. That is, it's making sense now because it's a shooting star and it occur on a particular area, telling me to sell. I'll be able to sell. In between here, I have other candlestick patterns. I won't pay attention to any particular candlesticks in between here. All right, unless it gets to a particular zone, then I'll be able to use that candlestick for a confirmation. I'll be able to use that candlestick pattern to see if I can have a confirmation, because you can't find meaning in each and every candle that you see. No, so only use candlesticks to look for where you have more buying pressure or to look for where you have more selling pressure. For example, support and resistance, only use your candlestick patterns to look for if you have a confirmation to buy at a support or a confirmation to sell at a particular resistance. So with that being said, I think we've come to the end of this video, and I hope you've been able to take down most of these points, because like I said earlier, these are deadly candlesticks mistakes, which if you don't know how to keep this out of your trading, then you're going to be able to blow a lot of accounts. Because anytime you make a mistake with this candlestick pattern and you don't understand what is going on, you're going to be able to pay it with your account balance. All right, so I hope you've been able to take down most of these points and practice it. As that's what they say, practice makes perfect. Try to be able to practice most of these steps, and at the end of the day, you will see how your trading is going to change. At the end of the day, you will see how your strategy is going to be fine-tuned. So with that being said, if you've understood this video or if you've gotten something from this video, please leave a thumb up on the video. Please smash the thumb up below, smash the thumb up, leave as many likes as, even though you can only leave one like on the video. So please leave a thumb up on the video, and if you are watching and you haven't subscribed, please hit the subscribe button below. Because on this channel we talk a lot about money. And how to make money in Forex trading. So with that being said, leave a thumb up on the video, subscribe to the channel, and if you want to join a community of Forex traders that share ideas on a daily basis, there's a Telegram link. My Telegram channel link is on the video description. That is the only Telegram channel I have. Any other one is a scam. And also, if you want to use the best Forex broker, the same Forex broker I use, check the video description below to be able to use the best broker. Until then, I'll see you guys on another video. Peace.